Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. Today is March 12th, 2025. We're doing a sewer scope here in Mill Creek. We're at 4647 South Brookwood Drive. We have the camera pushed out 140 feet, and this is from the rear house. And so I'm accessing it in the garage, and then I'm going to also do a scope from the front of the house, and so there'll be a part two. This first connection point is called the nose on. This is where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looks like a little bit of an offset there. You can see there's a little broken piece of clay on the left-hand side. It looks like there's some sort of a fitting around it. A lot of times it's called a fernco. It's like a rubber boot. And with ferncos, it's easier for the pipes to move. It's better for it to have more of a rigid connection. Ideally, when this line was repaired, it would have been best to replace this nose on. It's already cracked. It's got a little bit of a risk leaving it there. This is PVC pipe. This is what they use on most new construction. Not seeing any standing water through there, which is great. That indicates that you have proper grade. And now we're transitioning back. I can't tell what it is yet. Looks like clay. Yeah. Little couple baby roots right there. Once you have roots, you're always going to have roots, and so that'll be a maintenance item in the future. As we get closer, we'll see some bigger ones, and so probably be worth having it cleaned now. When you have roots, waves can get stuck on them, and that can create a blockage where it can back up towards the house. So far, they're looking pretty minor to moderate. That one looks a little bigger. I can't tell what that little flap is. I would have that specific joint looked at closer once you have it cleaned, and make sure that that little flap piece falls off and it's not a piece of pipe. Transitioning back here to PVC, and this is probably where it ties in from the front house. And now we're going through cast iron. Cast iron can get real rough and rusty. So far this is looking good. I would recommend getting the insurance on this line, since it is older. Cast iron will eventually need to be replaced. I know that insurance, so HomeServe specifically, they don't like to cover shared lines. This one is shared the front of the house with the rear house, but it's not shared with the neighbor, and so I think you might still be able to get coverage with HomeServe. You want to make sure that they are aware that it's shared. You don't want to be paying for it and find out later you don't have coverage. But since it is older, I would definitely recommend getting the insurance on it. If not through HomeServe, through someone. Some homeowners insurance offer it, but there's generally a deductible. With HomeServe, there's not. They don't cover what's under the house or the slab, and so where you go under the garage, that would not be covered unless you add the indoor coverage, which doesn't cover nearly as much. Okay, watch for part 2. But to recap this line, you have a mix of clay and cast iron. Looks fairly middle of the road. The cast iron looked really pretty good for the age. That's likely been cleaned. The nose on had a crack. Would have been best for that to have been replaced. Water certainly making its way into the city line, but it's possible that nose on cracks more. And if that clay were to collapse, if that were to crack more and collapse, soil could also collapse, where it would then cause a backup towards the house. We're going to end this recording now.